Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I too would like to thank the rest of our distinguished panel for being with us today to talk about this important topic. Mr. Halleck, you and I come from a region of the state of Ohio and a region of America where people are struggling. Unemployment is still excessively high. Many Americans struggle to provide their children with the clothes and supplies that they need to go to school. The average median income is well below the national average, double-digit unemployment through much of our region. What's happening in oil and gas in Ohio is a big deal to the people that live there. In your testimony, you talked about the astounding blessing that gas production, oil and gas production, has meant to our county. Can you illustrate for us a little bit about what this transformation has been? What was it like prior to oil and gas development?
Well, Congressman, what brought me initially some 30 years ago to Ohio, formerly I was in the clothing business, and I have watched the steel mills in our area, the automobile industry. I've watched a lot of things over the past 30 years, some through automation, but importation, just an overall decline in the economy in that part of our state. And there was really nothing to replace that. Someone asked me the other day about what do you know about oil and gas, and I said, really not much other than what I watched on the Beverly Hillbillies growing up, because, and I say with all due respect to our constituents, there is actually some of that today that's going on. I've been told we have over 200 new millionaires just in the county I represent. It's conservative by nature, so you wouldn't always know that, but I can just tell by looking at the percentage that our general fund budget in terms of our sales tax, property taxes, and others has drastically improved. But it has been a game changer, and it's given opportunity certainly to those that aren't only about, I think, 8–10% of our communities went on to higher education. And this gives these folks that would lean more towards vocational training some $100,000 a year jobs that normally they would never have.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about LNG exports. And as you know, I've been a staunch supporter of LNG exports as well. We live in a manufacturing corridor. You talked about the steel mills. Manufacturing is an industry that's very important to the economy of our region. Can you talk a little bit about how important you think it is that we open up the lines for exporting liquid natural gas?
Well, if the estimates, and I'm sure a lot of the reports have been maybe overly optimistic, but even if they are just optimistic, they're overwhelming in terms of the supply that we would have. In fact, Senator Johnston and I were talking earlier. In my humble opinion, it would seem to me that if we're talking about flaring, if we get to the point where natural gas is too cheap, then, for lack of a better term, they would turn off the spigot. I think it not only would stabilize prices, but certainly give us a sense of energy independence.
Do you see increased exporting of liquid natural gas as a threat to a manufacturing resurgence in Ohio, or do you think it would help?
No, I think it would help. I don't see it as a threat.
Great, great. What about, we often hear from Hollywood and from opponents of oil and gas development that the only people that are benefiting from the oil and gas boom in places like eastern and southeastern Ohio is some CEO of a distant oil and gas corporation. How widespread has the benefit been? You talked about the new crop of millionaires that have been created. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Well, it's certainly a trickle-down effect. Just in our county the other day, we asked, there was a parcel of property that we own, or the county, I should say, and they wanted to use, because it was close by, a small stream for water. Just in a 2-week period, it brought in almost $40,000. Now, that would not be a lot of money in Los Angeles, but that would be a lot of money in Lisbon, Ohio. That's just one small example. If you look at the farm equipment, because we are an agricultural community, which is not taxed, there's been literally tens of millions of dollars through the royalties that we have that have been spent on people that are leasing land. So it's far-reaching. It's a trickle-down, certainly.
Well, thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, thanks for letting me participate, and I yield back.